Hey guys, you're back with the Hot Wheels Vapester tonight. And tonight I'm going to do a comparison video of the TF-V8 Cloud Beast, which is what I have on here now, and the TF-V8 Baby Beast. Um, Now, when I'm at home and I'm just sitting around the house, I do prefer to vape off of my Cloud Beast, because I prefer to vape at higher wattages. My preferred wattage range when I'm at home is anywhere between 130 and 150. Um, so I do use the Cloud Beast when I'm at home. However, when I do go out, I do use the Baby Beast. I do love both of these tanks. I do believe that these are both a match made in heaven for the Alien 220 watt mod. Now, I will say that if you want to get absolute full potential off of your Alien, you're gonna want to use the Cloud Beast, because it can vape at the higher wattages. And I would even venture to say if you want absolute full potential off of this mod, I would go with the TFV12, the Cloud Beast King, um, because that can, from what I understand, comfortably do 200 watts. Um, I don't have one yet because, unfortunately, um, the place where I do most of my vape ordering from, which is DNA Vapor, is currently out of stock on the color that I want. They've been out of stock for some time on it because I want the iridescent. But as soon as they get back in stock on that color, I will order it. Um, but I mean, I love this tank. This tank is my favorite tank, but it will fill a room like after two hits. All you're gonna see is vapor. Um, Now, with that being said, this thing does get a heck of a lot hotter than the Cloud or the Baby Beast does. Um, you know, and just as a general rule of thumb, if it says don't smoke, don't vape, don't be that guy. Um, there are plenty of vape shops and vape lounges around now that you can go out and do that. Now, if you're in a mall in an open area, I'd say yeah, go ahead and vape. Just, just be responsible with it. Um, Now, I will say, with both of these tanks, you get about, if you take care of them and you don't go, you know, to the max wattage that the coil says you can, if you stay at Smoke's best range, you can get a good week and a half off of these coils. Like I said, I vape anywhere between 130 and 150. I haven't even topped the best range on this coil out yet. I don't think I've done a 180 watt vape yet on this. I don't think I've done a 180 watt vape, period. Um, Now, if I'm settling down and getting ready to go to bed, I will use the Baby Beast, um, because it is meant for a lower wattage. I vape that anywhere between 70 and 80 watts. I do say that you get more flavor off of the the Baby Beast, then you do the Cloud Beast. You get good flavor off the Cloud Beast, but it's a more intense flavor than with the Baby. Now you get really good flavor off of the Q4 coil on the Cloud Beast. But it's still more of an intense flavor than the Baby. Like, I'm putting on the Baby right now as we speak. And you get good vapor production off of the Baby too. Turn it down. I actually did that once. I made a mistake and I had put my Baby on here because I was getting ready to go to bed. And I had the Cloud Beast on here previous to that. And I forgot to turn it down. And I blew out the coil almost instantly because I had it at 150 watts. So yeah, you don't want to do that. But I have this set at 80 watts for my Baby. Great vapor production, very good flavor. I do have the sextuple coil on here. Now a lot of people said that you got better flavor production on the Q2. But me personally, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't stand the Q2. I had actually put it in there when the sextuple that this came installed with, when I bought my kit, died, and I had it on there for maybe about 2 hours and I took it off because the vapor production was okay, but the flavor production, it just, I did not like the flavor production. It was almost like I was tasting air. And I tried adjusting the airflow. I even checked to make sure that the coil was tightened down properly, and it was. I just did not like the flavor production of the Q2, so I went ahead and I pulled it out of there. And I put another sextuple in there, and it was fine. Now this does not heat up near as much as the Cloud Beast does. I mean, you do 2 back-to-back hits on the Cloud Beast, and it's warm. Now that's not the vape. That's the tank itself. I do vapes at 150 on the Cloud Beast, and it's like I'm vaping another sub-ohm coil at 30. I mean, it's that comfortable. I think both these tanks are a match made in heaven for the Alien. Now, one of the biggest problems that I do have with both of these tanks that I wish Smoke would correct by adding a spitback screen to their coils is, of course, spitback. That is a big issue with both of these coils. Now, I will say with this one, it is a 3 mil capacity, whereas the Cloud Beast it says it's a 6 mil capacity, But if you fill that thing up to 6 mils, you're going to have spit back for a dozen hits. So I generally, when I'm filling up my Cloud Beast, I go anywhere between 4.5 and 5 mils. And even with that, your first 4 or 5 hits are still going to have spit back, and that is an issue I wish they would fix. Now, another thing with the Cloud Beast is it's going to drink battery almost as much as it's going to drink juice. So you do want to have high drain batteries in your device when you're using the Cloud Beast, and make sure they're matched high drains. And I mean, make sure your batteries are matched even if they're not high drains. It's just safer that way. Now, I do not recommend either of these tanks or this device if you're just starting out on vaping, as these tanks are meant for higher wattages than you would get if you're just starting out. Now, you can do a mouth to lung hit off of this. It's not very comfortable to do on this tank. But you can do it, as you just saw. I prefer to go straight to lung. That's what's most comfortable for me. You know, I smoked for a number of years before I started vaping. And I did straight to lung when I was smoking. But when I started vaping, I started on the blue e-cig, and I even tried to do a straight to lung hit on that. And I about died. I coughed for about, I want to say 20 minutes when I did a straight lung hit on the blue e-cig, which, believe me, was not easy. But I worked myself back up to straight lung hits again. And then I moved up to devices like this. My first sub-ohm device, it was horrible. It was the Innokin iTaste VTR. I understand Innokin's gotten a lot better since that device, but that device was horrible. I actually still have that device, but I will never use it again. I won't recommend anybody get it, because it was a horrible device. I mean, it had a knob to control your ohms and stuff, and that knob did not lock in place, so you were constantly changing your ohms and stuff, and it was just horrible. I wouldn't recommend that device for anybody. But I mean, you know, I love both these tanks. Like I said, I will use the baby more when I'm going out, or, you know, getting ready to settle down for the night. But during the day, I use my Cloud Beast all day. Because like I said, I do prefer to vape anywhere between 130 and 150. And I mean, the flavor is great at 80 watts on this. Now, I am not by any means a cloud chaser. I do prefer flavor to clouds, but I like the clouds too. Now, the one thing that I will say is, when you're changing out your tanks, you do want to make sure your screen stays lit so that you can put your so it can register as a new coil, so it can get your resistances and stuff right. I do plan on getting the TFV12 as soon as they have the color I want in stock. Now, I will say you have to be very precise when installing the coils on the Cloud Beast, because if you're not and you don't tighten them down right, it will leak like a sieve, as I found out yesterday. Oops. You know, and on the Cloud Beast, I haven't even taken it up to its top end on what Smoke recommends at its best. Because it's recommended best anywhere between 120 and 180. I've never done a 180 watt vape in my life. I might do one at the end of this video, just for you guys. I mean, great flavor, great cloud production. I do like the flavor better on the Q4 coil for the Cloud Beast, but I don't have any more of those right now. In fact, when I order more coils, which should probably be the first of the month, I am going to be getting Q4 coils for the Cloud Beast. I will never get the Q2 again for the baby. I do want to try out the T10 coils for the Cloud Beast. So I might get those and see what I think of those first. I do think that I am going to try out the RBA for this, and I will let you guys know how that goes. But I mean, like I said, I think both these tanks are a match made in heaven for this device. Now, if you want to get the full potential out of your device, out of the Alien, I would definitely be using the Cloud Beast or the TF-V12, as from what I understand from everybody I've heard of that's used it, says that's very comfortable at 200 watts. But I'm vaping this thing at 150, which is very comfortable. It's as comfortable as, say, a 30 to 40 watt range on another sub-ohm tank. But yeah, that was my comparison of the TF-V8 Cloud Beast, or the TF-V8 Cloud Beast, excuse me, and the TF-V8 Baby Beast. And I am going to take it up to 180 watts just for you guys. Here is a 180 watt vape to show you guys out. Remember, smoking is dead because vaping killed it. And I will see you all out there on the clouds.